Hey, what is going on, YouTube? Aaron here. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. And guys, we've got a fun one for you in today's video. We are in the GK, and we have a maximum health build. The most health you can have in World of Warships Legends. Well, sort of. I'm missing a few inspirations here. And on top of this game, we're actually going to have a Germany-themed week. We've got the GK video today, a Tirpitz video tomorrow or the day after, a Z52 video to follow, and then I'm going to let you guys vote on the 4th and 5th video if we even get to those. I have a very busy week coming up. On top of that, we will be focusing on some German ships on stream. I will not be on stream tonight, but we will definitely get some streams in and definitely meme the German secondaries. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about this ship. The Große Kurfürst, or the GK as many of us know her as, one of the original 3 legendary tier battleships, and honestly, probably one of the most overrated. Now, of course, she did just receive a massive buff, not only to her HP utilization, but to a few other factors as well. And as you guys can see here, with this specific build we are running with Hyde, we have 115,430 health. And here is the build that we ran in this game, and the build to get you the most health. Of course, Hyde's base trait adds that little health, and we were running Flammable Cannoneer in this game. It's probably a better choice to choose Brawler or that first slot there. We're also running Porcupine. Aladad is a great skill, but I just want the secondaries. This build gives us 10.7 kilometer secondaries, the most health in the game, 4 heals with Master Mechanic there, and you can get all of that without sacrificing Marksman there and Flammable Cannoneer. Now, of course, the accuracy is still to be desired, and the GK probably has the worst guns on all of the legendary tier battleships. However, I don't like running full secondaries. You could make that argument, or like a full brawler build, because having that little bit of extra range and accuracy does help for those 1 or 2 salvos that actually go your way. We're also running the 406s. I wanted to go over that, but on this build, as you can see here, 18.7 kilometers of range, a 30-second reload on those 406s, 40-second turret traverse is pretty awful, but a 10.7 secondary range. Now, of course, that is not even close to the Schlieffen's 12.3, 12.6, 12.7 even, and a few of the other brawling ships like the Colombo. The GK is just honestly one of the worst picks. However, this game is getting insanely boring, so running the same ships over and over again, I want to have a little bit of fun with this game. Also, a true test of seamanship here is putting yourself in a ship the size of a football stadium with pretty mediocre guns and surviving to tell the tale of it. Here are the remainder of the specs slash stats. They're very mediocre. Concealment's battleship maneuverability is pretty slow. And yeah, let's go ahead and look at the armor viewer here as, yeah, you're just a giant piece of metal. The armor looks decent until you look at the size of that superstructure. You do have a strong bow with a very good icebreaker. However, Yamato can still citadel a little bit of that through there with a touch of angle. It's a very unique shot, however it can be done. But those upper belts there are just eating penetrations and, of course, fire damage. Now, we were running Fight Fire with fire. However, with Flammable Cannoneer, you're going to be getting set on fire just a touch more. You are pretty protected from your citadel, so you don't need to worry, about that, and it pays to get in a little bit closer. However, it's just you will see even in this game and even after the HP relocation that Wargaming gave this ship a buff with, you're still just taking 20 and 30k hits, even angled to the superstructure. Now, of course, that will saturate. But yeah, she just feels so sluggish and so slow and so out of place. You do get your sonar, but honestly they could make a buff to that to give it maybe just a little bit longer duration to help you protect against destroyers. But anywho here, let's get back to the game. And guys, let me know if you like this style of video. Let me know if you like this series idea. I'm trying to expand my channel. We're going to be doing some college football videos and just trying to have some fun with these videos and with you guys and with the community. Now, of course, we're still trying to play in a team-oriented fashion. which is why we are playing the side we spawned at. We spawned at C here, and of course we are detected because, you know, I am the size of a, you know, large office building, if not bigger. And already we can see we are in a tough predicament. There's a Colbert as well as another battleship out there, and we are instantly set on fire and instantly ready to return to port. No, I think my settings were messed up. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but you don't want to be caught in this situation, especially pushing into a kiting Colbert. However, what we're going to do here is just let that single fire burn, try and take a few salvos at him as he turns out. You know, we are risking concealment here, and that's why I didn't shoot. A lot of players will just push blindly into those kiting cruisers, and there is the triple fire from the Conch and the Colbert. Looking at our ships behind us, though, it's always pondering to me sometimes how passive I feel like I'm playing, and then I look behind me and it's like, wait a second, I am the closest ship. This is definitely a questionable position. If I was looking back on the minimap, I would be like, yo, what are you guys doing over there? However, we actually do get a battle buddy in one of these Yamatos and this Stalingrad, who do have a decent game, and it wouldn't have been the way I would have done it. However, we get the end result, which at the end of the day, in a game like this, is really all that matters. I'm repositioning here because of that Colbert. I'm on damage con, I was triple fired, so I'm just going to take the scenic route here. We do have the Bravo cap despite it being turned red as we speak, and we have eliminated one of their destroyers, so a double bonus there in the center, and that's where a majority of the enemy fleet looks like it is focusing as this Colbert sails into the cap, giving up all advantages he once had, gets insanely lucky with the broadside. We take a leading shot, and unfortunately we only get one overpen and one bounce. He turned out at the last minute, but you just saw that dispersion there as we actually trade that destroyer over there on the Alpha cap. Tiger looks like Lenny for Polar Express, you guys. But here we can actually see a great example of why this ship was buffed. This Colbert player gave up all of his kiting advantages to YOLO into the cap, sail broadside, losing 75% of his health. He turns right into an island. We take a salvo and give all of the sailors on his ship a nice little bath there, as one of our teammates actually gets another elimination, I believe, in the central location. And one more salvo will do it as we kind of realize that we're overloading this side. So with the elimination on this Colbert, there he goes, and the sheer number of ships on our flank, we are going to go ahead and press this Conquer here while trying to get crossfires on the Bravo cap. And that is when we look behind us and notice a near full health Yamato on an identical path to mine. And yeah, it's just never a good idea to sit on top of your teammate, but we're just going to go ahead and press this advantage here. When you group up like this, you're removing all firing angles, any potential crossfires, and you're leaving, we're leaving our teammates over at Alpha and Bravo out to dry. Now, you can actually see that those battleships are doing the right thing and kiting away from that disadvantage. And now, as you can see, we notice this Drake, we have the enemy in a crossfire. Oh, it's nice when you press and take your advantages and pay attention to the minimap, gaining situational awareness. And speaking of situational awareness, this Drake actually has a little bit of it, or he just got lucky and turned out. And we actually miss a massive citadel that is located in the Drake. We do get a few penetrations for about 8,000 damage there. And we don't really have much else to do over here on this flank besides kill this Conqueror. Now, of course, we're going to be taking a massive hit from him, but with the Yamato behind us, the Stalingrad, the Carnot, I believe, and the Z-52, who's kind of lingering in between Alpha and Bravo, we have to do something. As you can see, this guy is just getting a flank even further out here. It just doesn't make sense to me, like, how you could look at the minimap and put your ship in that position, but again, it doesn't really matter. We're going to sneak through this channel here. We're going to save our secondary booster for when we're, all the way around this second little rock here. We fire the front guns, get a nice little hit, 3 overpens there. We allow the back guns to clear, get another 17 or 18,000 on that Conqueror, and he actually smacked us for about 30k. Simply talking about those mid-belt penetrations. Now, of course, the Conqueror has that short fuse AP, which will absolutely eat up our superstructure and mid-belt. So what we're going to do, once we get around this rock here, we're going to pop our secondary consumable, get a few hits from those, eat him up as he utilizes his heal, aim at the superstructure here, and also pay attention to any other targets in the area. We're also going to angle up so he cannot abuse us with his AP. However, he kind of overturned here, and yeah, he's got a few ships to deal with. I would not want to be in his shoes. I was kind of waiting. It looked like he was going to make a full turn. However, he doesn't. We aim that shot just a touch higher, get 4 pins and 6 overpins on his superstructure, and then get the close quarters expert with our secondaries, and we are on the offensive. Our team has done a fantastic job of getting some other eliminations, that destroyer and battleship, but as you can see, we are down 2 caps to none, and I know that me getting this cap is going to be valuable for our team. However, there are 3 other ships here which can do it, and I'm just going to be constantly getting reset. Big name potentially, but also that Drake has a good, angle over these islands. We get a beautiful salvo on that Republique. Nice 6 penetrations there at that mid-belt. One of our better salvos, but unfortunately we do not get that elimination. I'm trying to cut back and get this cap here as we are now undetected, but you notice a few salvos from that Drake and I believe one from that Republique, and we are now down to under half of our health. We do end up getting an assist in capture there, although if it would have continued to be reset, I would have left the cap. If you are in a battleship and you are constantly getting reset in a capture point and you have some smaller ships, such as a cruiser or destroyer trying to get that cap, you're simply delaying it for your teammate. Now, your other teammate will get it, however, it will take longer. That is when we decide to push out right here. The rest of our teammates are kind of focusing on the central kind of Bravo location and those ships there. And we have this Drake and that Yamato out there. We get a decent salvo on him, connect a few to his superstructure. Yeah, there's a few bounces. However, we do push our damage total up to about 100,000, which is right about what you should be doing every game in pretty much any legendary tier battleship. Now, of course, we didn't really get to shoot our guns for 4.5 minutes there, so if you really think about it, that was a quick succession from 5 to 98,000 damage. A small little tip for my battleship players, you notice that we are undetected here. However, the last known position of that Drake was going around the island. As you can see, I'm kind of looking at all available targets while still keeping my guns facing forward. And we had that single fire going and we didn't put it out. Far too often I see battleship players putting out single fires when you don't need to, because in a situation like this, going against a Drake and potentially a Carl, the Johann there in the middle, we could be getting set on a double and triple fire if we were to use our damage con. Now, of course, if he does set us on a double or triple fire, that would be a good time to use it. Bad news for this Drake, we've got our secondaries on target focused on him. We pop our consumable, and we pop one of our last heals. We get a little, again, just unlucky with RNG. He was almost completely broadside, and we get 1 shatter and 1 bounce. He did angle just a touch, and the Drake does have a decent belt. However, I just feel like if that was me, that would have been a Citadel or a massive penetration. And here is a good example of why you should save that heal, especially for fire and flood damage. After, even taking a few salvos, we were in the red. We are now back up into the 40,000 health range, which is the health of most cruisers. So this Drake thought he had us whittled down. We actually do, unfortunately, take a torpedo, and that would be a good time to utilize our repair party. We got set on fire. We took a torpedo, and we're going to go ahead and let these secondaries do the trick here. You can see that our back turrets are loaded. We do actually get set on fire, which is fine. We've still got 18,000 health to utilize, and there it is, the second close quarters expert, the Dreadnought, and the Fireproof. An absolute tanky beast. A pretty low damage game, all things considered, but if you see attracted damage, it does get us a nice 3rd place finish there. Definitely not one of my barn burner 4K 200,000 damage games, but I just figure games like this are going to appeal a lot more to the potential average players. I know that everyone can't be getting 500k, each and every game, and I just thought that that was going to be a fun little video, as well as this fun little theme week here. But I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Let me know what you guys think. I love you guys. Aaron out. Peace.